Hey there and welcome. So, you've got your HM-KV Oxygen Concentrator, and you're probably wondering, what now? Well, you have come to the right place. We're going to walk through the absolute basics to get you up and running safely and with total confidence. Let's dive right in. All right, first things first. What is this thing really? Simply put, it's a device your doctor prescribed to give you an extra boost of high concentration oxygen. Now, what's just as critical to understand is what it's not. This is not a life support machine. Think of it more like a helpful assistant. And that's exactly why having a backup oxygen supply is so important. Okay, before we even touch that power cord, we've got to talk about safety. This is the top priority, you know? Oxygen requires some serious respect. And the rules we're about to cover are, well, they're non-negotiable. So how do we keep all this straight? Easy. We've boiled it all down to 3 golden rules of oxygen safety. Honestly, if you only take away one thing from this whole explainer, make it these 3 rules. They're your key to staying safe. Rule number 1. And folks, this is the big one. Absolutely no smoking. Not in the same room, not while you're using oxygen, just never. I can't stress this enough. It's incredibly dangerous and can cause severe burns or, frankly, even worse. Okay, rule number 2 is all about creating a safe zone. You've got to keep the machine and all the tubing at least 2 meters, that's about 6.5 feet, away from any open flame. We're talking candles, gas stoves, fireplaces, you name it. Why? Because oxygen is like fuel for fire. It makes it burn way hotter and way faster. And rounding it out, rule number 3. This one might surprise you. It's about lotions and creams. You need to avoid anything that's petroleum or oil-based. You know, stuff like Vaseline. The reason is pretty wild. In an oxygen-rich environment, those products can actually become flammable. So the simple fix? Just stick with water-based lotions. Easy peasy. All right, now that we've got those critical safety rules locked in, let's get down to business, setting up your concentrator. Setup is just a straightforward 4-step deal. Let's walk through it. First, check that air filter. Just make sure it's clean and sitting where it should be. That's super important for the machine to breathe right. Second, if your doc recommended it, you'll attach the humidifier bottle. Just fill it up with some distilled water first. Third, pop on the oxygen tubing. And finally, and this is a big one, plug the machine directly into a wall outlet. Seriously, no extension cords, okay? Okay, we're all set up. Now let's take a look at the control panel. I know, it might look a little technical at first, but trust me, it's way simpler than it seems. So, what are we looking at here? Your main player is the on-off button, which is also a knob. You press it to start or stop, and you rotate it to adjust the oxygen flow. Simple, right? Then you've got a timer button. Pretty self-explanatory. There's a nebu button for the nebulizer if your machine has that feature. And then there's a really handy SOS button, which blasts a loud alarm if you ever need to call for help. Now, I want to pause on a really important point. That flow rate knob, it's meant to be set to the exact number your doctor prescribed. This isn't something to experiment with. You should never increase or decrease the flow on your own. Your doctor is the only one who knows the right setting for you. So please follow their instructions to the letter. So your machine actually talks to you. Well, not with words, but with lights. These little lights on the display are its language, and once you know what they mean, you'll always understand what's going on. Think of it just like a traffic light. It's that simple. See a green light? That means norm for normal. Everything's A-OK. Green means go. See a yellow light? That's your low O2 caution signal. It means the oxygen concentration has dipped a bit, so you'll want to check your manual and give your provider a call. And if you see a red light, that's abnor for abnormal. Red means stop. There's a problem. Your immediate action is to switch over to your backup oxygen supply and call for service right away. All right, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final, super simple daily habit. If you can make this one thing second nature, you'll be reinforcing all the safety stuff we've talked about. And what is that habit? Just turn the machine off when you're not using it. That's it. It sounds so basic, right? But here's why it's so important. If you leave it running, oxygen can slowly build up in the room, soaking into things like cushions, blankets, and clothes. They call this oxygen enrichment, and it makes those materials way more flammable. So by just flicking that switch to off, you're preventing that risk and keeping your home so much safer. It's such a small action with a huge impact.